feeling of the deck that I'm dealing when I rough you up and down. You style switch. Well, I know it's been a while since you heard a change in the style. So what I'm gonna do is keep you something fly and new, a change different from the typical, a bit more than regular, not like the others original. Cause your originality and creativity added up together equal the BBB posse. Yeah, we got a house, yo, kick it.
New York is New York. We're what everybody says we are: rude, opinionated, pushy, loud, fast talking, sarcastic, wise ass. But what people don't understand is what's rude to the rest of the country is polite to us, and vice versa. Because if I go to a pizza place and they give me a slice, that's polite because you're not trying to hold the line. There's a line, and you're not trying to slow. If you go into a pizza place like, "Hi, how are you? You must be hot working back there." That's rude. You know what I'm saying? Even there's no stools. They want you to walk and eat your food. You have to fold your food and walk.
New York, New York, New York. You see how we say coffee? We say New Year's. Like
yeah, don't blame the head, not the heart. Like we know how to spell it right.
Right.
Nah, that's a
well, honestly, people still.
But the years, no, I seen that too. I wanted to tell you about that. I actually seen professional posts that said like, like if you type in Happy New Year's, it's not gonna say years, it's gonna say years.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Why are they trying to correct you, Kim?
I don't know. It is what it is. So they wasn't correcting me because I wasn't even really saying. I was saying Happy 2024.
Oh, okay.
But anyway. Moving on. What's good? How you doing, D?
I'm good. I'm blocked off of Facebook for whatever reason. I guess playing all this music on Instagram, it trickled down to Facebook, which I don't know how that worked because they let me back in. I'm on Instagram, but now my Facebook, and that's very vital because that's where a lot of content, videos and stuff is there. So they gotta come up off that.
That was crazy that you said it because I was thinking that this morning coming here. I was like, I hope that the music that we play don't affect because IG has been bugging. Like you can just say something that isn't even derogatory, and they have been blocking people from commenting or
they really trying to control the narrative, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's why we need our own, man. We need our own.
Well, we actually have it. We just need people to just go there. We could be on DemetriusStudios.com right now and be chatting and listening to the show in fully.
That too.
But people just won't come up off those other apps. They just gonna sit there like.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's convenience. Like you just press the button. I don't know.
That's the same amount of effort to go in there. Like, it's a link. You click the link and you're right there. Like I made it real simple.
I know it's simple, but you know.
That's what I'm trying to think. It's been like that for
when
years.
People like call you, they will message you on Facebook, like call you on Facebook versus calling you on your line.
Really?
Like, why you just don't call me on my line? Like, why? But it's just the same thing. You just go to the phone, contact, and call me.
I'm trying to figure it out, but I do know that for the years I've been doing this, and I always had it since 2005. I've had it embedded on my website where you can see text and all that the same way. I just took what was on the website, like picture, just taking Facebook and just putting it on my website so that you could still see the same things, but you're just there, and that is still the same thing. Like we just won't do it. So that's the reason why we don't have our own platform right now, because I would have had it. I already had it, but nobody was supporting it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fight against and then lose people. So I did that, but we can't be like pro-black and we need to stand together. Anyway, that's 2023. I'm standing with who's standing with me. Me and Kim is perfect. We good. Anybody that's
So
that's
the
good.
matrixstudios.com.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And then y'all can tune in. Y'all can hear the music flowing without it
Yeah,
being
without no
interrupted.
interrupting. You don't want them all up in your videos, all up in your mentions. You know, come over to DSN.
And y'all can still chat with us.
Yeah. You can send individual messages to Kim. Like if you really want to get in her DM, like it'll come right to her phone.
Oh gosh, no.
Don't tell her that. Nah, it won't.
We will not be doing that.
We will not be doing that. But yeah, you said you had a interesting week starting to the week.
It's just been busy, so I'm thankful for that. I started a new school in Brooklyn on Friday.
Oh, what side you on?
I don't even know. I just be going. But
High school or junior?
oh yeah, it's middle school, so they're junior high, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Nice.
But so yesterday was my second class. The first time we were just doing activities and getting to know each other, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I actually had my first class with them, and it was interesting. Woo, boy.
Boy, you can see how different girls are raising these kids, right?
And the thing is this right here, this phone.
They let them have their phones in that
They
school?
let them have their phones.
Oh yeah, my school they lock them in the box. The kids don't see them phones.
Yeah, and it's a problem. So, but this is how I did it. So I noticed I had all boys, and they were all on this game on what's that stuff that they play?
Minecraft.
Not the other one, Roblox.
Yeah.
So some game on Roblox, and they were all playing with each other. I was like, okay. So listen, give me the instructions. Like, what do you do? How do you have to, like, what's the powers? And give me the concept of the game.
You
And
engage with them?
yeah, I just had to like get on the board, write down, let me know, because I don't know nothing about it. So teach me. Like, so everybody got excited. Okay, no, this is my favorite part. And then after that, I had them create their own game and how to, show me the concept, show me what powers you use. They even drew it out. So that was the only way I was able, because it was like, woo, okay.
Lord Puzzle, good morning. Yeah, you got to meet them where they are. I think that is a life lesson that I've learned in my 48 years. You have to. Like, trying to change people, like, just like that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
You kind of got to, like, meet them somewhere close to where they are to get them to be how you are. Like if I start hanging around you, Kim, I'll start saying Grand Rising every day because I'm next to you, right? And it'll be like natural. The same thing with the kids.
Right.
If they don't see disrespect every day or they don't hear cursing and all that. But the problem is they go home and then they hear it.
Yeah.
So I almost want to go. We need to have home trips and go to some of these people's houses and sit on the couch for after school activity to see what's going on. Like what happened.
I'm kind of scared about that one, but yeah. But I mean, it would be nice.
But think about it, because you're scared. That's the biggest part of the problem,
right?
Just from your apprehension to do so is like
because
wrong.
I mean I see some of the things, and I've even had kids. They were cursing. Then one came up to me. I apologize. Like he came up to me. Even first he said sorry, and then he came up to me again and was like, "I apologize for what I said." I was like, "Okay, that's good." So. I remember being that age, you know what I'm saying? My mouth was
that's the same thing.
My mouth was horrible.
Right.
So, but there's a difference between like being disrespectful and having a mouth that's horrible, and then knowing when to be horrible and not to be, So it's like when I was around my friends, school, adults, no, like I couldn't. So, so that's it. So starting a bunch of that, and the radio and
the radio. Hey, we were just talking about the concept of music, songs, and how it relates to society and how people write songs and be dope writers about one thing, but then the real life be crazy. It's like, why did you take your own lyrics seriously? In love or whatever. These love songs be amazing. You would think these guys are like, and these girls are like in love forever. And no, it don't work.
Well, back then, I think it had more meaning than it does. There is no love songs now. Everything is humping and
right. But even the artists from the 90s had divorces and breakups and all that. So what I'm saying is, it sounds good on the record. Sounds good, but
I think in that industry, the industry.
Okay.
The industry.
So we okay. I'm with you. Giving people that work in the industry a different type of like, look, this is what happens over here. Like same thing like when you go to another country, like some women can't even show their face.
Right.
But in America, y'all like, I'm not covering my face.
Yeah.
But you can't go over there and talk all that woman.
Right.
Your head would be
chopped.
Right. So and people respect it. That's why they over here.
Yeah.
Or that's why they over there doing what they gotta do. So same thing with the music industry. You start dating somebody that's heavily into radio or business, and you start complaining about the things that happen natural to them. That is a you problem, because this is what we do.
Yeah. It's a cold world out there.
Yo, and thank y'all. Yeah, me and Kim always gonna have good conversations because we good, we smart people. I love this morning show.
I really do. Because I look forward to coming here on Tuesdays, and I wish that I could do more too. Honestly, I wish.
That's all right. Because when the springtime comes and the money start rolling in, we get grants for being on the radio with kids, it's gonna change. I'm leaving a whole section open for us to do radio shows with kids on the weekends, like on Saturdays, like we used to watch Saturday morning cartoons. We could take 4 hours, bring different classes in here, and let them produce their own shows. Kids need voices too. That's DWI's initiative in New York City and in the world.
Yes,
kids need not that. What's that saying? You're supposed to be seen, not heard, or whatever. That traumatized a lot of, I guess, our generation.
Exactly, which is what I teach also. So yeah. And I want to definitely incorporate that into what we do with the kids. So it'll be dope. I'm looking forward to what we got coming up. And talking about what we teach and stuff like that. What time is it?
It is.
It's 10:20. Let's go on to a song, but then we're going to talk about forgiveness and apologies. How about that? I need some more Bobby Brown. What we got?
So which one of these songs represent apology? Let's see. Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel, because I would never be that. That's apology.
Let's go with Don't Be Cruel.
And this is some type of remix in '88, so it should be good.
All right.
We'll be right back.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
The only thing that matters in my life is that I'm down for you and treat you right. You got no cause to treat me cold as ice. Oh, girl, as long as I've been giving my love to you, you should be giving me your love too. You just keep on acting just like a fool. You know it ain't cool. I don't be cruel, 'cause I would never be that cruel to you. I know, I don't be cruel. Girl, you need to change your attitude. I know, I don't be cruel. Hey, cutie, what's up with this attitude? I thought I was being real good to you. I keep you sweet, take you out at night, but you never say thanks, girl, that ain't right. I bought you diamonds, even beads, your pearls. I took you for a cruise all around the world. I treat you high post, but you play me close. And if I put a drink up, you won't even toast. Girl, I work so hard for you from 9 to 5, so you could have the finer things in life. You're the kind that's never satisfied. Oh, girl, as long as I've been giving my heart to you, you should be giving me your heart too. But you don't just keep on acting just like a fool. You know it ain't cool. I don't be cruel, 'cause I would never be that cruel to you. I know, I don't be cruel. Girl, you need to change your attitude. I know, I don't be cruel. Cars, the diamond rings, I'm just about giving you everything. There's really not much I won't do for you. A bunch of 12 yellow roses and candy too. I like to be up front and never play the back, but the way you treat me, girl, is like a heart attack. As long as I've been giving my love to you, you should be giving me your love too. But you just keep on making just like a fool. You know it ain't cool. It just ain't cool. I don't be cool. I don't be cool. We used to hang out tough, just kicking around. We discovered a love that had never been found. You gave me your heart, I gave you my mind. But a true love affair we could never find. Although I want you bad, I can let you go. Cause there's a lot of girls out there that won't say no. No to the fact that I want you, Jackie. I want you more than human eyes can see. But you had to stop killing, trying to make a killing. Thought about the dollars I make and you were willing to be with me, Bobby B. But with the bad attitude, I can't compete. Now you know my name, now I know your game. You wanna be with me, you gotta be the same way that another girl would be. And if you wanna be with me, don't be cruel. Cause I would never be that cruel to you. I know, oh I know, I don't be cruel. Girl, you need to change your attitude. I know, oh, I don't be cruel. Cause I would never be that cruel to you. I know, oh, I know, I don't be cruel.
We're throwing it back. We're throwing it back. The new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
I like that. Ah. All right, so let's talk about it, right? Forgiveness and apologies, they kind of go hand in hand, I guess. When it comes to, let me start with your children. I think that's something that's kind of big. Like I was discussing yesterday how a lot of times we go into adulthood and still blaming our parents for the things that have transpired in our lives, right? When do we grow up out of that and start blaming ourselves? And also, do you feel that your parent should apologize to you for the things that they have done and have caused? Because we're not going to deny that the fact that the things that have transpired in our household growing up affects us as adults, right? But we as adults have to change the narrative and break the cycle and generational curses and do different and grow and learn. So, do you feel that your parents should have apologized to you for the things?
Nope, I don't. I don't think they should so much apologize. I think certain things probably deserve the explanation, but like in my parents' situation, they chose to take drugs, and I don't think they knew, like anybody else that dealt with crack, knew what was gonna happen. So I can't really blame them for that. I could blame them for being stupid and trying something that just wasn't what everybody else was doing, but then I guess everybody else was doing it at that time.
Right.
And so whatever came after that, it wasn't them doing it no more. Their brain was not even so much in control most of the rest of their lives. Like they was chasing the high and, you know, doing what they can. So I'm happy that I made it as far as I did with, you know, how I could see how other people's families was affected by it. So I would say no. And as a parent now, when I do things, like I think about like, if I do this and, you know, I get blackballed by the industry, or I get, you know, if I do something to a woman and it goes to the news, my son is going to have to deal with that. So I think about my son first. So I don't even do things anymore for like just myself anymore. Like I really think about my kid first. So I would say if I did something, me personally, that I would apologize like to my son, but I just wouldn't try. I don't like apologizing. So let's just wake that up.
You don't like apologizing?
I like to just what I say, beg for do what I want to do and then ask for forgiveness later, but not in a disrespectful way. So when I say not, if I do something wrong, then I'll apologize for that. But I'm saying I don't like to put myself in a position where I got to do something to apologize. Is what I wanted to say.
Okay, I can definitely understand that. Absolutely right. Me, I think definitely things should have an explanation. I think that the parents do need to take accountability for what they have done. excuse me, some parents throw things under the rug, act like, excuse me,
Mm-mm.
act like things haven't happened and you've always had this great life, you know. Goodness, I knew I need my water, but yeah, I personally have apologized to my son for the things that I've done. But that's it. I'm not going to keep apologizing and keep apologizing. And I'm not going to have my child constantly saying, you messed up, you did this, you did that, you did that. You understand? There
Right.
has to be that understanding. With this apology, understand now we moving forward. And that's it. You understood that I made mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't understand how to be a different parent than what I was taught, you know, than what I knew. And I had to learn and grow. So I think apologies are appreciated
Mm-hmm.
and having that understanding and moving forward. See, I know people have apologized, parents that have apologized, and the kids still throw stuff in their face even
Right.
years after. So then the apology becomes like, what was the point of me apologizing? Then, you know?
Mm.
So I think it's appreciated. I think it's necessary for growth and depending again on your relationship. And I think it's good for yourself. Like, you know, like I took accountability for what I did. I apologize. Now I'm moving forward. Now we doing different and doing better.
Okay. Well, that's big of you to do that. Like, again, apologizing ain't gonna fix it. That's what people used to always tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I used to hear it a lot. I don't know if they used to tell me that. So saying sorry, yeah, that's what my grandma's sorry ain't gonna fix or ain't gonna correct what you did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So who
Well,
was
it's
the
not just
apology?
saying sorry. You know what I mean? So let me give you an example of what I did for my son in my book.
Mhm.
All right. I ain't bring my glasses. So, all right. So I did a poem before this and then I write about it and then I talk about the poem that comes after. So yeah, I had my son and the poem that I wrote about was written when he wasn't even a teenager. Now he's in the book, it says 23, but he's actually 24, about to be 25. My son's about to be 25. Anyway, so I'm reflecting, looking at that poem and saying, wow, I'm impressed with how he really is, all the things that I wished, hoped, and worked on with him. However, I put my son through a lot. And one was going into another unhealthy relationship shortly after my separation with his father. So I'm sorry for everything that I've done. I'm sorry for the things that I didn't do and the things that I didn't know how to do. So I'm sorry for also putting you in situations that made you make the wrong decisions in life. But I thank you for not judging me, holding anything against me, supporting me, loving me, and believing in me. So, you know, but then we also had that conversation and then move forward.
Okay.
So it's not like just saying sorry, but it's also recognizing what
Right.
happened.
And I think that's fair too, because if you let's just say, like, if I do something harmful to you and I know it's gonna be harmful, saying sorry is not like, it's like you what you
Yeah.
say sorry. But if I do something by accident or unintentionally, like a lot of times I get caught with I say something and it makes somebody feel something unintentionally. Well, I meant to say this, but they took it like that, but they still felt the way. So I have to apologize for saying it. That I gotta apologize for you taking it that way.
Right.
But that's not what I was. That wasn't my intentions. Like,
Mhm.
and then somewhere in the middle we meet. Allison's online. I make her mad all the time. She's a
What's up,
recipient
Allison?
of. She stay hanging up on me.
So now that comes in with forgiveness. So sorry is like, yeah, sorry. And then you keep doing the same thing. Sorry. I don't like sorries either. I
Mhm.
like if you are gonna sit down and take be responsible for your actions, that's what I like. And then I like to see change. But to
Mhm.
keep saying sorry, I'm sorry, yeah, that's totally different. So where does the forgiveness come in? Do you continue to forgive people? How often do you forgive people? Is the forgiveness for you? This is one thing that I want that
Let me get comfortable for this one.
yeah, okay. So I'm trying to say it without having to really put somebody on blast. So this person would always be like, unconditional love, and which means always forgiving, right? Which is, so you can forgive somebody, but it doesn't mean that you have to continue to take the abuse or the things that they are constantly doing to you. So like moving forward in my relationships, my past, I forgive them, but that don't mean I'm going to hang out with them again and I'm going to
Right.
continue to like be or let you into my space and my energy. But people think that there's some people who think that you should always forgive no matter what because it's unconditional love. Yeah, and that's golly of you. But no, you're not doing golly to me. Like, what is you talking about?
Right. Yeah. I love how the rules they made up that they say God said what you should do. And like, yeah. All right. Well, not he ain't say that with me. He said that you do that with everybody else, but not with me. That's what we not gonna do. So I like when people say that the forgiveness is for you, not for them. So if something happened and a couple of things happened in my life where I was really upset at the situation, I think I can accept apology or forgiveness. I forgive after I don't feel bad about it no more. When it doesn't bother me no more, that's when the forgiveness. That's the level when it like balances out and I'm back up to here above the situation and I'm not even thinking about it. Then the forgiveness is great.
Yeah.
But if I'm still down here and you up here with it, and I'm still thinking about you and mad and going through emotions, I'm not forgiven. You have not been forgiven yet.
I can understand.
It's a process.
It is a process. It absolutely is a process.
I hate when not hate. Let me take back. I don't like the word hate. When you see someone at a court and they killed somebody's son and the mother's there saying that she forgives them or whatever, like that whole thing is like, who is she trying to like make feel good about it? Like when one does that, you could not express the frustration, but does she really forgive this guy for taking away her son?
I believe people do.
All right.
I believe people do.
Well, hopefully me and you don't never have to.
I hope I don't.
Like,
I hope that I don't. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen a few things, and I've seen people actually having a conversation with someone who did harm to someone they love, and
so
it was deep. It was deep to watch, but yeah, go ahead.
We should have added this as a third one. I'm not big on the closure thing. When people want closure, like for relationships and for situations that happen or a job or whatever. Closure sometimes is rooted in what happened and how the separation happens. That's all the closure you need right now. We don't need to talk about nothing else after you violated or did something crazy. We good, because to talk about it more and you didn't you didn't rectify what you did, then it's like I'm gonna get more mad.
Oh, that's for sure.
Because my brain is still waiting for you to be like, yo, yeah, nah, I did that and this is what happened. Because I can forgive after that,
right?
After you understand what it is, because it's easy,
right?
But it don't work like that. A lot of people like stand on strong and wrong is what I call it. They be wrong and they still and
they would deny and deny and deny and deny. And some people even make it seem like you were the problem, you were the issue. And
what do they call that though? What is that called? What's this guy?
Is that narcissistic? I don't know.
Gaslighting.
I am over those words. I know y'all heard my poems. So I was like, I ain't trying to use nothing wrong, but I just think it's people who don't take accountability for their stuff, man. I don't know. We got to do better. We got to understand that, we ain't perfect and admit it. Some people want to be perfect and want to blame everybody else for their wrongdoings.
So yeah, the amount of let's just talk about celebrities or people in the light that have gotten in trouble in the last 5 years, and the way that people line up to talk about it and to make it to kick them down as if everybody else is perfect. That's what drives me crazy. That's why when people start trying to bring certain things to me, I'm like, all right, we the media, we could talk about it just to make it reflect what we got going on. I like to reflect off of something going on. Mm-hmm. I can't really agree with anything that Puffy is going through or R. Kelly, because I don't do that. I don't do those things to women. I don't take advantage. I don't talk to women while they drinking or none of that. So I keep myself out of that conversation. However, whatever happened with him and that person or those people, and that's for them to figure out. We should not, as a community, and just be with the forks and the picks. I just think that's crazy.
It is horrible what we do, and we have our own lives that we need to be picking at. And y'all just so busy in everybody else's lives and this celebrity. And even my son asked me yesterday about, so what are your thoughts about Cat Williams? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even pay.
First
Did
of
you
all,
watch it?
I did. I watched pieces. I watched a good amount of it, the
Okay.
first part of it. And he's a comedian, first of all. And he's a pretty good one. So, because now when I looked at the he had somebody did a clip about if you're a hater, you ain't got 5 haters hating on you, you need to get to 10. Like, he's always been like that. So for him to make this story, pump this up now, like, even if it's false or true, like he sells it good.
And that's it, because he
And
knows how to make it
right
entertaining.
Now. Right. He's building himself up right now.
Exactly.
He's a comedian. He could go crazy on the whole world.
Thank you. And
people are just like jumping into it, like, yeah, well, that's what happens.
This is what's killing me. This is me. I'm Cat Williams, all 2024. Like,
I know you're not.
Why
you
you need
been
why you need him to reflect off of you?
Yeah.
Like, people have been telling the truth for a very long time. We just don't see it. We don't want to pay attention until it's entertaining.
Right.
So, yeah.
I thought about who it was, like, saying the thing, and I'm like, because he's saying it and he's so passionate, everybody's like, he going off, but he always goes off. Like that.
He has been, right? He's not the only one.
Somebody mentioned
Eddie
when he was getting yoked up,
talking about it,
right? He got yoked up by that little kid on the football field. Somebody was like, "You better shut up," or somebody yoked you up. Like,
but it's just it's too much for me. I could deal without the
Lord Puzzle said, "Caddy about to get to the bag." I don't know if he meant to put Caddy. What up, Jay Ditter?
I mean, whatever. I wish him success. I guess this is what you needed to do to get to the next level. Because you keep getting blackballed. That's
talking about a bunch of people or waking things up. Like, if I wanted to turn DWI and just start going crazy about everybody who I just know did whatever and got on and didn't, it would wake everybody up. They'd be like, because D never talks like this, so there must be some truth to this.
Right.
But then again, now you made all of these enemies. Like it's cool if he was telling like the truth about things that was like, they can be like, all right, I did that. Again, apologize. Yo, Cat, you're right. I did that. But he's talking about things that they did to get on that he didn't do. That's what he was saying. Like, he didn't sell his soul to do this. We don't know.
Clean as, he still got a virgin, you know what? And again, that's something that has been talked about often in the industry. It's not nothing new. But because he is saying it in the way that he's saying it, it just makes it, it's gossip.
And old Shay, he's a football analyst, so he don't even know what's going on. He's just like gaslighting it, like, no, you don't say. And the Cat is just going off more. Like, I was like, yo, this is the funniest thing, because it's not like they was both going back and forth, like getting on people.
It was just like, let Cat do his thing.
Right. And he got how many? I watched it. He said he got that's the most viewed video that he had.
Yeah, they did say that. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's go into some music.
I'm sure Bobby Brown. I'm sure Bobby Brown got a song.
It's my prerogative.
Yep.
It's my prerogative.
I should have just typed in his name first, and then, because I tried to do it the other way. All right, let's get into this, Bobby Brown. We're doing a whole Bobby Brown lineup today. So if you ain't a Bobby Brown fan, then
much love to Bobby Brown, man. He is still here through everything he's been through.
Streaming online at party1019.com. This is New York's #1 for throwbacks. The new Party 1019, a Nexus radio station.
DWI Music.
Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Now, just let me live. Permission, make my own decisions. That's my prerogative.
They say I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty. but I don't give a damn. Getting girls is how I live. Some ask me questions, why am I so real? But they don't understand me, or really don't know the deal about a brother trying hard to make it right. Not long ago, before I win this fight, everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? Tell me why. I don't need permission to make my own decisions. Oh, that's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. It's the way that I want to live. It's my prerogative. I can do just what I feel. It's my prerogative. No one can tell me what to do. It's my prerogative. Cause what I'm doing, I'm doing for you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really not super. Ego trips is not my thing. All these strange relationships really gets me down. I see nothing wrong with spreading myself around. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Yeah, don't they just let me live? Tell me why. I don't need permission. I don't need my own decisions. That's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. It's my prerogative. Can live my life. It's my prerogative. I'm doing it just for you. It's my prerogative. Tell me why can't I live my life without all of the things that people say? Yo, Teddy, kick it like this. Up now. I can do what I want to do. Me and you. Together. Everybody's talking. Just let me live. I don't need permission. I don't need my own decision. What is this, a blizzard that I can't have money in my pocket and people not talk about me? This world is a trip. I don't know what's going on these days. Got this person over here talking about me, this person. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. This is my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. I made this money, you didn't. Right, Ted? We out of here. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's It's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. It's my.
The new Party 1019, New York's number one for throwbacks.
It's my prerogative. That's right. It's my prerogative. So I can do what I want to do. So I don't need to apologize to you. That's how it's going.
That's how it goes.
Well, how often do you accept somebody's apology, right?
Well, for me, I told you, when I'm over feeling like however I was feeling, it's all good. You don't even have to apologize. I already let the gates down. Yeah. Come back in. Some people keep walls up for a long time. I don't. I just be like, it's cool.
Yeah. At some point, that's what I say. You gotta let it go. An apology is the forgiveness is for you, just so you could just move on and be like, you know what, I'm forgiven. Moving on. You do what you want to do. That's your prerogative, right, Ted?
Right, Ted.
We out of here. But yeah, I just noticed that there's a lot of times where, especially in relationships, you keep forgiving and you keep forgiving and you keep forgiving. But if there's no action showing and change, then that's when you
and I'm happy you brought that up, because that's when I hear, and I'm going to talk about the women that I hear talking about the bad relationships they in and the chances that they give. I just be like, how you like allow that. Like how you just keep doing it. Like it ain't the person that did things 5 times. It's the 4 times before that you allowed it after the first time is what the problem that I have with certain people. It's like once or twice, all right, boom. Benefit of the doubt goes but so far. So
I definitely have forgiven way too many times.
let's talk about it. Tell me how that works, because maybe I might learn something.
It's not good because you don't even trust them after like the second time. Like, even after the first time, you're like, all right, then after the second time. I think my thing has always been like 3 strikes and that's it. Right? You know better. So we just stupid. We stupid. I think for the most part, starting
summarize
over,
what a woman justifies things that are being done wrong to them.
There's no justification. I think we
yourselves.
start thinking about starting over. We start thinking about all the time that you put into this. Is it worth it? Sometimes, like in my last one, I also had business ventures. You know what I mean? So it was like there was so much that I had to give up in order to move on, but I did, and it was the best thing that I've ever decided to do.
So in a lifetime, one would believe a relationship is not working out, all these other human beings, you're gonna just stick around and be miserable for several amount of months or years, especially when you know it needs to end. I'm talking about when you know it needs to end. I'm not talking about
when you know it needs to end.
But you're still
women know when it needs to end. They working on a plan. Trust me.
Right.
They're working on an exit plan because sometimes it could be an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I know when I was in that situation, I had to like really plan and figure out how I was going to get away. You know what I mean? But
so there's no like calling your brother, father, or uncle to handle that. Like there's no handling that, getting that handled. So
it depends on your family.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Because if my sisters called me about something like that, I would have to be like, all right, now this is it. Now because I gotta go. Either I gotta go away or I gotta go away. Like something. But this is it. But if it's you or him. And my freedom, it's gonna be him. He's out of here. I can say that on record because I don't play around with my sister. So
right.
And I only asked that. That was like not like a actual question like to ask about your family, but I'm just saying like I be feeling like certain women be keeping things a secret, like they don't tell the guy. So I won't know if my sister has a problem because she loves them.
That's another thing too.
And that's what I'm talking about. Not even so that he could interject and hurt him. It might be a conversation that could be had and might get him either right or but if he's
or left.
But if he's that type of guy that that he don't take conversations, then first of all, why are you dealing with him? That's what I always say. Why do women put themselves in bed with these type of weirdos? But
Well, I'll tell you, like when I was a teenager, when that first happened, I had left my mom's house, and my thing was I dealt with that so that I could prove my mother wrong and not know, and acting like, yeah, I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing. I made the right decision. So I dealt with a lot of pain and a lot of getting mistreated instead of going back to my mother's house.
Right.
Yeah. So there's like so many different things and scenarios, but yeah, you definitely didn't tell anybody until like it was too
bruises,
late,
right?
Like yeah. So, but I think that we need to set boundaries and we need to stop being stupid.
You gotta have a class about that.
And I say that with all good intentions, but sometimes we are just stupid for our partners instead of putting ourselves first. So it happens often, and I've done it. So.
Well, y'all heard it from her mouth to your ears. Like, ladies, stop being stupid. Fellas, stop being stupid.
That too.
If you're dealing with a woman that makes you want to put hands on her, then at that point is where you exit and just go find another woman that's more pleasurable for you.
Right. And not even just the putting hands part, also the disrespect, the lying, the cheating, all of that. There's so many things in these relationships. If you're not ready to commit, get your own apartment.
First, why is that not even on a...
Get your own apartment. Don't move in with her.
Get up
And
off the
acting
couch.
like y'all
stop
about
playing.
to build something and you out here slinging ling-a-ling-a-ling around, you know? Or
Oh
so,
man, this is gonna be a good show today. We got La Bruja in the building.
yes, we
On
got La
time.
Bruja. So let's talk about Miss Lady before she walks in this door and makes a grand entrance, right?
Mhm.
So she's from the Bronx, Puerto Rican. I'm from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? She's a poet, actress, Emmy Award winner.
Mhm.
We got an Emmy Award winner up in here. There's so much to her that I'm
That
really
might be our
just
first
excited.
Emmy award winner that somebody actually announced. Emmy is TV, right? Daytime TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's considered daytime, but TV.
Oh yeah, TV.
Yeah.
I gotta check the stats, but we're gonna say yeah.
Because
She's the
you
first
probably
one I
had
know.
Grammy, but not.
No.
Emmy.
There's been television people come on here, but I don't remember the accolades, so that's
Right.
why I'm. Oh well, we're gonna give it to her.
We're going to give it to her.
We
She's the
just-
first one up in here.
Because they do that anywhere else. The number one movie of the summer.
Right.
It's like
And you know.
how many movies came out this summer, and this
Is
is
this-
this is the number one. So that's how I like to allow people to do the same thing. When people be like, "Oh, my little podcast or my little poem," nah, don't take the little off. Make it big because then people are listening better. Like
Right.
I don't know who you trying to like bait in. All right, I'll just do a little job here and there. Like nobody don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You better talk crazy about it so you can wake them up.
Yeah. I had that conversation yesterday. That's funny because he was like, little old me. I say, ain't not little about you. Like you trying to get sponsors. You're not little, you big. Pat yourself on the back.
Right. What are you doing?
Yeah. So yeah, it's important. Your words that you use.
Mm-hmm.
So
words have meaning. Words are power.
Yeah, it's the cast, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it's spoken word. That's why, like even when mantras, right? Certain things that you say to yourself consistently. Imagine putting yourself down every day.
Right.
How would you feel?
Like trash.
Imagine listening to music that is dark and depressing every single day.
AKA drill music. But go ahead.
Well, to them, it's yeah. But okay, we'll move forward.
Whatever.
No, we talking about like dark, deep, and depressed, like sad. I don't love myself, or the other person doesn't love me, or I don't know what to do with my life. Imagine putting that into your head all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those things affect you. So that's why it's important. Like we use these mantras and we say certain things to ourselves to continue to make us feel good, that we could stand up straight, sit up straight, I could look you in the eyes with no problem and talk to you, have a good conversation, and smile and feel good energy, and transfer that to you because of the things that I put inside my head, and in my body. So
there was an audio book real fast. There was an audio book that my son's mother gave me right when we met. It was like 3, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 CDs long by Brian Tracy, something of success. And one of the chapters he was saying, and this is like 12 years ago when I was listening to this driving back and forth to Canada, and I was really on my like pro listening to all of those type of audiobooks at that time. And he would just say, look in the mirror and just tell yourself, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And I'm like, that's a bit extreme, but I do get it. I look in the mirror every day and have a conversation with myself and appreciate that, the things that go well for me, because there's not a lot of people that can look themselves in the mirror and really actually enjoy what they see and enjoy, what you've been through. So even if you had hard times, just know that it could get greater later. So
absolutely. But look yourself in the mirror. And I've done that in workshops too with the kids. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself some good things about you. What do you love about yourself? You know what I mean? And so it makes a huge difference in your life. And if you have that, if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, then there's some really deep reflection, self-healing that you need to do. And figure out why you can't look at yourself in the mirror. And what can you do to make it different? Right? So, you ready to throw something on? I think I want to play something from La Bruja before she walks up in this door.
All right. Well, I see Trick or Treat or Fuego.
I heard fuego.
Yeah, I heard fuego. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I thought that was an echo. The ghost was in the room. All right, so we gonna get into fuego because it's fire, and then we gonna be back with our super esteemed guests.
Yes.
You
Come on,
found the
darling.
new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Que Dios me los favorezca y me lo acompañe todo el mundo jalón, estas abuelitas. I like to say hello to la bruja because I love her. Y Bruja delicioso, es bien delicioso. I hope you love it. Y my favorite song es cuando ella canta, tú no llegarás a quemar lo que hago yo. Tú nunca llegarás a quemar lo que quemo yo. I love that. Tú no llegarás a quemar lo que quemo yo. Tú nunca llegarás a quemar lo que quemo yo. No puedes jugar con mi fuego. Ten mucho cuidado que te quemo. No puedes jugar con mi fuego. Ten mucho cuidado que te quemo. Date quieto cuando entro que te quemo con mi fuego. Date quieto cuando entro que te quemo con mi fuego.
I make you burn like the green that I stick in my pipe. Feel the heat scorching niggas with my flame on sight. It's the real one, still some question the tactics. I flip shit daily like it's fucking gymnastics. Some call me Brujo, granudo, ya estuvo. But you know better than to fuck around with you though. Rhyme kick, quicker the triggers click. You ask why? You play crap with your life so your ass dies. We smoke you, burn you like hash. And we double hook you when you turn to ash. You soft ass busters fall apart and crumble. Talk shit, mumble, can't stay on the humble. But I got the remedy, remember me, nigga. I'm gonna put you through extremities, nigga. The serial rhyme killer. You wanna stand off? Don't get too close, I'll burn your hands off.
Tú nunca llegarás a quemar lo que quemo yo. Tú nunca llegarás a quemar lo que quemo yo. No puedes jugar con mi fuego. Ten mucho cuidado que te quemo. No puedes jugar con mi fuego. Ten mucho cuidado que te quemo. Date quieto cuando entro.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
What was that? Fuego.
Fuego. That was with Be Real, the mighty VIC on the production. That's a throwback. Shout out to Be Real, Cypress Hill classic.
Yes, that is a classic. You got a lot of collabs. I'm excited to discuss here today.
Hi.
Hi.
we are mostly on stages. Like
Yeah.
this is a different forum right
It
now.
is.
So how
Yeah.
do you like this?
I love this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is not new to me. Like, so I've been doing this for a while. So I'm happy to be back on.
Hello.
Not that
Hello.
close.
Say what?
Pump your seat.
Pump up the seat. Oh,
Oh, the other
oh,
way.
the other way. Oh, jeez. I don't know how to do
Pull it
that.
up and lift it.
Hold it up.
Woo! Hey, I know I'm short. A lot of people think I'm tall. I'm not. Tall on the inside.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the energy.
So yeah, this is cool. Here,
Yeah.
downtown Manhattan. Here we are in New York City. I'm happy to be here. I overheard some of the things that you were talking about forgiveness and wellness and mantras. And on my way over here, I was definitely chanting, and so I feel good.
Good. I'm happy. Yeah, we on Wall Street. Money making Wall Street.
I saw the bull outside.
You didn't rub the balls?
No, on my way out.
Get that good luck in, La Bruja. Get that good luck in.
Your mantras. Like, what do you say while you
Go the horns, then the balls.
The horns and
grab them
balls.
by the horns and the balls? Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Like
What a
whole-
quick turn we've taken.
I know, right? It's still early. It ain't even noon yet.
So, I didn't know there was only clean songs, like no cursing songs. So I apologize.
that is
for
not.
that.
That's not your fault. That's my fault.
Well,
It's
I definitely have very clean songs.
Here we
go with- here we go with the
I have a
apologies.
spectrum. I
Mhm.
have definitely things for the youth, and I've done like the Piragüero, very wholesome,
Uh-huh.
and very.
Yeah, but we wanted that hip hop. That's why you get.
Yeah,
But it's all
I
good,
wanted to
you
give
know.
you that hip hop, little name drop, little Be Real, little Jadakiss, but all of those things have curses. The one with
Damn, the
Hurricane G,
Jadakiss
rest
too?
in peace.
Like-
Yeah, those were, and those happened by. I used to do hooks,
Right.
for people, and so that turned into just getting me on a hook. And when I heard that it was, who the artist was for, like for Jadakiss, I called it Beso Peligroso, and I did it, bilingually. When I heard that it was for Be Real, boom, I did Fuego because he's blazing all the time. So I was like, boom. But, and with Hurricane G, it was Trick or Treat because, we were two witchy women, her being a Santera, and, me and Espiritista both, representing Latinos and in the hip hop industry. And she was a dear friend of mine. So I wanted to definitely bring that
R.I.P.
song, but all those have
Yes, rest in
adult
peace,
language.
Hurricane G.
So what I will say, here's a gift from me to you because I'm about to install my Pro Tools again and get back to my editing. And we have a playlist that's going to be we on iHeart every day. We are iHeart Live right now. So I'm going to edit those songs and tribute to you and to those artists and
Thank
clean
you.
it up so that we can play them. So you
And
didn't
they're
do nothing
pretty
wrong.
exclusive. Not many people have
I
that.
know.
So yeah,
Trust me, I know that.
it's not out there anywhere. So cool.
Thank you for giving
Bam,
us
bam,
that.
bam, bam.
Hola, Bruja, I'm gonna tell you, it is an honor to have you here. So I'm getting all emotional. So just to have someone that obviously I'm a poet.
Yes,
We
you
do
are.
a lot of similar things. And the funny thing is that before I actually met you, my first time performing in New York was in Harlem. It was at a comedy show and it was huge. I had so many people there. And the owner of the place, God, I wish I could remember what it was. It wasn't a comedy place. It was a big theater type thing. And
What, in the barrio?
no, it wasn't. I don't know.
Was it Poet's Den?
Yes, that's exactly where it
remember.
was.
I remember.
And then when so it was
It's not. I don't think it's open anymore. And
no,
that
I
was
don't
like
think so. That
vintage
was
theater.
really,
Yeah, it's
really
old
nice.
school,
Really
108. Yeah,
beautiful.
classic.
Yes, the Poet's Den.
That's right.
And the owner was like, La Bruja. I was like, no. He's like, you sound like her. You remind me of her. I was like, oh, okay. Then I finally met you, and then I see the vibe and the energy, and from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you coming here, and I know your time is valuable. You are a busy, busy woman.
I am.
You
I
are.
am. I work a lot, but I love what I do.
Exactly.
And that just drives me. I'm excited to do the work that I do.
Right.
And I think that has attributed to my success is just, it's the dedication to the art and the craft.
Mhm.
It's never been about the fame or the money.
Right.
Like even the thing
'Cause-
that I won the Emmy for, I heard you bring it,
Mhm.
talking about the Emmy. Like I did that there was no money in that,
Mhm.
and that was dedicated to Puerto Rico. So it was to create something, the legacy of Puerto Rican poetry.
Right.
So I was a script writer as well as contributing to the New Yorican, more contemporary, like,
That's
part
what's
of the
up.
history. So yeah, that was done in Puerto Rico. It was like during the pandemic, living in Puerto Rico for like 6 months. I lived out there and, they called me, would I do this? I was like, would I?
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Right.
And then no idea that it would even
Mm.
be submitted for even, for, what do you call it? Not recognition, but consideration.
Okay.
I had no idea it was even going to be considered. So I would, just being nominated was a big deal. And then when we won, it was just like, oh my God.
And what's the name of the film?
It's Legacy of Puerto Rican Poetry,
Okay.
Legado de Poesía Puertorriqueño, and it was on ABC during the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So it was the segment because it was because of the pandemic, there was no parade. So then we created this. Everything was on
dope.
TV. So it was for that.
And is that still available for us to see now?
Yeah, I can send
Okay.
you the link. It's on YouTube.
Okay,
It's on
cool.
one of my pages. I forget how I titled it, pero está ahí. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. How old were you when you started poetry?
I was a little girl.
Mhm.
My great grandmother was the one that taught me poetry. My mother's mother in the Bronx, you know, right there in Soundview, where I still live, born and raised,
Okay.
still there. And it was in my family. You know, they were artists. I also have a
Because your mom too, right?
my mom is a
dance?
teacher
Okay,
and a
a
dancer.
dancer.
Yes, dance was my mother's first love, so she put me in dance also. So they had me in piano and dance. Like I was not on the streets. I was in
Right.
classes being taught different art forms.
Mhm.
And you know, my mother was a teacher, so mothers that are teachers make different type of kids.
Yeah.
You know, like you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's a level of excellence all the time that is
Mhm.
expected, you know, when your mother's a teacher. So yeah, so my family, I have artists in my family, dancers in my family. My parents met dancing. And my stepdad too, my mother. that salsa floor has done a lot.
Okay. And then it trickled down to your kids.
Yeah, my kids, they perform with me.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
you know,
seen
instead
it.
of having a babysitter, they would be with me performing.
Right.
Yeah, so they're artists in their own right, and we've shared many a stage, and it's a beautiful thing. And they're fans of my work. They be
That's what's up.
singing
I
along
know,
and everything,
right?
and that really touches my heart.
Absolutely. My son is always the first one to hear something new. Like, hey, like yeah, okay. So from a little kid. So yeah, so I definitely can relate to that. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. We see ourselves on TV. We don't know that.
I know. Oh no.
So let's talk about you and the poetry place.
New Yorican.
New Yorican. Goodness,
Poets
Jesus.
Cafe.
Yes, the New Yorican.
A lot of people don't know how to say New Yorican. I hear New Yorkin. Like sometimes like
Really?
Yeah,
New
they get it
Yorkin.
twisted.
They're
Yeah,
not from here.
They be from here.
Oh,
I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know. Maybe they're not Latino. They're not, you know, I don't
But
know.
a lot of people know what a New Yorican is.
A lot of people don't.
I guess so. You're right.
Because I just went
You're right.
because I've been doing like a historical, you know, delving into the history of these locations. So I went to the original location of the New Yorican Poets Cafe, which is now Club Cumming, which is, you know, an LGBTQ bar owned by Alan Cumming.
Okay.
And so I go in there and the bartender, I was like, "Do you know that this was the original New Yorican Poets Cafe?" He was like,
"No,
never heard of it."
Didn't even know.
No, nothing.
Wow.
He was like, "The general manager's here on Thursday."
I don't even care. That's what he was just telling me.
I was like, it's a 50-year institution,
Hello.
cultural institution. But you know, so we gotta that just pushes me more to make sure that we keep doing the work that we're doing.
And you just got a large lump sum of money.
$24 million
What
to
are we
renovate
doing
the
with
building.
that?
Well, a lot of people don't know that the top 3 floors have been dilapidated all of these years. It's a 100-year-old building. And so we've only been using the bottom floors. And it was turned into a theater by La Mama years ago. And we came into that space in like 81.
Okay.
But we were originally from 74 to like 70 something in the other space on 6th Street. And so now I have to clean out the building, which is insane because I found 50 years of accumulation up there.
Wow.
But I guess that has followed me too because my dad was a hoarder. So like I've known about that life. So now if it's going to be a 3-year renovation, top to bottom, it's going to be renovated on the outside. The brick will remain and then everything else will be gutted. It'll be like another extra 13 feet back because there's a garden back there.
Nice.
And so it's going to be really a cultural institution.
Nice.
You know, and so really, really happy about that.
Absolutely. So we're closing it down for...
It's closed. We closed on Halloween, which was the 50th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, literally on Halloween.
Wow.
Halloween has been another... My parents got married on Halloween.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was another thing. Like, it was all these, you know, kismet alignments about everything that, you know, has happened with me, the cafe. And so in 3 years, it's a city project. So we're hoping that 3 years it'll be done. And but in the meantime, we've been doing stuff in other locations in the city that are also classic and connected to the history.
And you have online as well.
And online. Yeah, during the pandemic, I started the first online open mic and it's still going to this day. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm very happy
that's
about
what's
that.
up. And your workshops.
Yeah.
Are you in schools right now?
I visit schools. People still bring me out to workshops. I do a monthly workshop for free at Studio One on 4th Street, the last Thursday of every month. So yeah, those still continue, helping people do one woman shows, one person shows, because that's the
what I
other
was
thing. You know, so it's like poetry, monologue, and then music, and like actually how to create a body of work that a person, you know, can present. I mean, I've been doing this since April 3rd, 1996, when I wrote my name on an open mic list to spit at the New Yorican Poets Cafe. And, you know, I've worked all of these years doing this work to be paid, right? To help be paid, to be able to support this art and support my family. And I'm happy that now I'm able to open doors for other people. And, you know, like I know what that struggle is.
That's what I was going to ask you. How was the struggle? Because I definitely...
The struggle continues.
I know, it's real. But when you're passionate about what you're doing and you know that there's a purpose behind it, and, you know, I was laughed at plenty of times and talked about, because you're going to pursue a career in poetry, you need to get a job, you know?
Oh, I know. Abuelita, you know, God bless my grandmother. Her, so, ¿Cuándo tú vas a buscar un trabajo? ¿Qué tú haces? I remember when I was doing like political poetry, she was like, muchacha, I never want to see you do that again. She was like very nervous for me, because this is also activism, you know, like this is another, other.
And when people hear that, you know, you got different eyes watching you. So
to this day, it's a fine line, but I, you know, my integrity is intact. My conscience is clear. I just continue to do the work, developing my next one woman show, From Poor to Rico.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing that. And yeah, you know, there's a lot of patriarchy, misogyny, you know, a lot of resistance when a woman is, you know,
is that powerful?
As a matriarch.
Lord Puzzle said he'll help you clean out the project. He's one of our guests that was on the show. He's in the chat room.
Clean out the the space.
Yeah.
You can go to newyorrican.org, NUYORICAN.org, and if you want to become a volunteer, it says there's a link for that, so that you can, you know, let us know you're interested in working with us and join the team.
Lord Puzzle's the truth. He's so supportive. Aw, thank you.
Very sweet.
Yes. So what other awards have you won? You got the Puerto Rican Woman Legacy Award, the Edgar Allan Poe Award. Oh, I remember I used to go to Poe Park all the time and act a fool, but you know,
that's where
I learned.
Puerto Rican and Puerto Rico actually came from my work with Edgar Allan Poe's work.
Okay.
So at his cottage, they were restoring the cottage. So I did this. I took his poetry, bilingualized it, and created this whole thing and called it Poe Rican.
Okay.
And raised funds to restore the cottage at the Artists Club, I think. And then I was looking through the dictionary, all these Poe words that how can I, you know, connect Poe with Puerto Rican. So then I was like, I saw Puerto Rico in this old dictionary. I was like, Porto, because now we're Puerto.
Right.
But for like some years, I think it was like either
because of the port.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Puerto is a port as well. But it was like, I forget who it was that wrote Porto because of Puerto. And so I saw it Porto, and I was like, Porto, poor to rich, Rico, Puerto Rico. And I was like, oh, that's something.
It definitely hurts.
And then I just started creating poetry, and then Hurricane Maria happened, and then it became this love letter to the diaspora, and to those displaced, and to those, you know, ready to rematriate, try to go back home. It's a love letter. It's beautiful. I'm very happy with this work. And I just want a grant to continue developing it, which is, I can't announce the grant yet, but the fact that now I'm being paid to create the work instead of creating the work to be paid is just fills my soul.
We were just talking about that today, me and Kim. We do a lot of work in the schools and with media. I'm 25 years in doing media, so I was just saying that we want to have a program here, being that we just got the space 2 months ago on the weekends in the springtime where the kids, like maybe over the summer, Saturday mornings they can come here and have a voice in whatever, whether it be poetry, music, just talking, just talking. Like, just
Well,
give
that's
them a
great to
platform.
know
Mhm.
because we just started with Rightopia and P&T Knitwear Bookstore, a free teen open mic every like last Saturday of the month. And so there's a lot more teen programs. So we could always connect it and be
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, if you want to do this,
Do a
then
show.
this is
Absolutely.
another place, a platform for you to continue shining. So they'll be so happy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, is there another song we could play, or we can't play anything?
I'm playing whatever because at this point now,
it's too late.
At this point, you know, we take the.
I want to hear something. I want to hear, you know.
What else?
Because La Bruja got bars. Y'all don't know.
You know, in the hip hop industry, I think I wasn't as successful in the hip hop industry because I was too strong of a, you know, like I wasn't pandering to patriarchy in my work. And so, and hip hop, women in hip hop, is a lot, measures your success is how much you play into that.
Absolutely.
You know, and not that there's anything wrong, because hey, more power to you, but me myself,
right.
Yeah, I didn't
Not
feel
doing
comfortable.
that.
And I was faced with all kinds of, sexual harassment
Of
and
course.
incidences that were traumatic. But shit, then I thought, okay, it's the hip hop industry. Boom. Then I go do a one woman show and then it happens to me in the theater. I'm like, oh shit.
So it's the industry itself.
No, it's societal is what it is. So, my work has been very feminist and very strong. Pro ovary. Even though I love, I love all people. But
So are we gonna not so are we gonna get into Beso or
Beso Peligroso? Go ahead, do that.
Well, I don't know which one goes I guess along what we were just talking about. Maybe something that's close to that theme. Or
go for it. Beso Peligroso.
You said go
this
for
is the
it.
one with Jada.
Okay.
Nice.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
We get money, niggas is riding. We just want to do our time. We don't want to bother nobody. Come on.
Dangerous, contagious and shit. I'm famous for this. I spit flame from my lips. A witch. I takes no shit like a stopped up toilet. Backup plans, I spoil it. Her head's like a moil kid. La Brujita. You smile when you see her. You bow when you meet her. You now a believer. Kneel down to a real sound. Yeah, that deaf poetry chick got a whole new appeal now. Mira, ten cuidado, está pelado, estos ojos achinados, conocen un mamao. De lejos y a mi lado yo veo que tienes miedo. Repito, el peligro se encuentra en mi beso.
Things of us, cause we specialize in diesel, Bombay, and angel dust. Better keep your man calm, fall blown his damn arm, then open up shop in San Juan from here on. Jade is the uno negro, double R, D block, and peligro. Came here to lock this shit, so don't worry, dímelo, Dato, kids got this shit. It's a bullseye when I see the dark go through your way. Then I go and blaze with Marco with the haze, hustling the music. The same shit, nigga, they both dangerous entertainment.
Party 1019 York's #1 for throwbacks.
Girl up. So what's a peligroso? For those who don't know.
Peligroso is dangerous.
Mm.
So beso peligroso is a dangerous kiss.
And Jada kiss.
Yeah. And peligro, shout out to him. He got faded out, but he was the one who actually paid for that to happen, that collaboration. And he was, an MC in Puerto Rico.
And then we faded him out. She said after that,
That's why I want to give him some shout out, because I haven't heard from him since. I don't, it was made his money, doing things. And was able to afford that and put that together. So shout out to Peligro wherever he may be, because that's like from 2005. That's that's a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you incorporate your poetry with hip hop? Was hip hop always something growing up? Because we lived in the Bronx, that was your thing, and what was the connection with you?
Yeah, to me, it's all poetry. It's just how you deliver it. And growing up, being in the Bronx, we was doing hip hop before it was called hip hop.
Right.
I'm 50 and I'm as old as hip hop. And so it was just there. It was very natural. And I think I was like writing and doing bars. Like by 14, I was definitely dropping bars, but poetry was different. Like I was definitely writing and reciting things that abuelita would, and mama would teach me. And so, but it very connected. It's all poetry to me.
It is.
And I love being able to it's like a challenge, like a word puzzle. It's like, oh, okay, this is, let's attempt to create this style of poetry, and so it's all good. It's all good. I love to do it. Even when I've done monologues in complete poetry, which lends itself to like even Shakespeare, how that is still classic writing of poetry that's studied to this day. And it was theater.
It is. Yeah.
So I love using all of those elements.
All of that.
Yeah, like holding court, even a black box theater, nothing, like creating a world and making people believe it.
Right.
With nothing, no props, nothing. Yeah, it was just the words and the moment and channeling. And so it's
and that's exactly what we were talking about, how words are powerful. Words are spells. So that's what we came in to, the things that we say or the things that we constantly hear, right? If we hear all this stuff that is dark and gloomy, then that's the energy that we're going to feel.
I started telling myself, I started changing things that I said to myself. Like, I am so rich. Like I started saying that to myself.
That's why the word broke, I am not broke.
You never say broke. Like you don't. And even if you catch yourself, correct yourself.
Exactly. That's what I said. If I catch yourself, I'm like, nah. Yes.
Replace that
like,
and make sure.
Even my son caught me one time. He said, "Oh, you broke?" I said, "No." He said, He said, "Because we don't say that here, right? We don't say that." I said, "You're right." No, because he said, "I'm broke." And I said, "Tell me about it," instead of me correcting him. So he corrected me like I normally do to him. So that's what you do.
Raising my kids, I didn't let them say hate.
Another word,
they didn't say, "Hey, I hate this," or I hate you. Never. Ever. Never. Not even like stupid or any of those words. Like it just was not allowed. I didn't let them speak to anybody like that.
Right.
So, it does make a difference. And you have to recognize it, the negative talk, because we do that too. We worry ourselves into, a dark rabbit hole sometimes. So pulling the reins on your mind and like getting heart centered on iHeartRadio.
Shout out to my guy Dave. He said his favorite song, I guess, that you did was with Joel Ortiz. Latinos.
Yeah, I did that hook. He didn't invite me to the video though, so I was like,
nah.
Joel.
How dare
I'm telling you, I was just a hook girl at the time. It was just like, just throw her on a hook.
Nah, you've been dope for a long time. Let's just wait that out. Every time I heard your name from those times, 2005 and before. So I don't know why they was playing with you.
That's
like
very
that.
Sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
That's what's
Well,
up.
Boogie Down Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. I love the Bronx. Shout out to the Lower East Side. Where
So can you tell? I'm 48, about to be 49. So I'm right behind you. I'm in 75. You 73.
I'm 76.
So
Mhm.
tell me what was we all around the same era, but again, what was life like in the Bronx that makes the Bronx borough so much different than all the other boroughs? To why they look so down on us in the Bronx?
I don't know why, because the Bronx is the greenest borough of all the boroughs. We
Hello,
have
wake
the
that
most green, most parks, largest parks. We have the Botanical Gardens,
In the
we have
Bronx
the
Zoo.
zoo, we have Pelham Bay Park, we have City Island, we have beautiful spaces, rooted in history. The one thing
Riverdale.
about the Bronx too is that it's not an island. It's the one borough that isn't
Connected
an
to-
island,
it's
which
connected
means
to
that
the
all
city.
indigenous people had to touch the ground there first.
Mm.
So before it was touched by any other.
Right.
So there's an energy there, like a very strong source. So much has come out of the Bronx, like from hip hop, and salsa, New Yorican salsa.
Right.
As we know it, there's so many salseros. There was like a whole, all of Southern Boulevard, they were all dance halls where you could see Tito Rodriguez and Tito Puente in one night, and maybe La Lupe will show up. And so the Bronx has so much. And the river, it's the one that it's named after the river. It's the one borough that it has just beautiful energy. Of course, it was colonized. The Dutch came in the 1600s. But Soundview, where I live, actually was a Siwanoy village. It was a Siwanoy land, sacred land, and it was an archaeological site in the 1900s.
Really?
Yes, there's bones buried there. They had
Wow.
like 70 wigwams, the large long houses made of wood. And from what I have looked into, and what they found was, like, in the center of each wigwam was the fire, and under the fire was where they buried the bones. So there was different pits of ancestors buried in there.
You got your answer, DWI.
I did.
It was called
We got
Snack
some
Pins,
information,
the land
right?
between
We got
two
some-
waters, Soundview. So if you go to Soundview, to Class and Point,
That's
there's a
why
bench
there's
there.
that.
I made sure, along with Pepatiang and the Parks Organization and Bronx River Society, to put a little plaque. Snack of Pins once stood here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not too much on the Bronx, y'all, because we don't know what's connected when it go down. We could get to Canada without a problem. Right? Y'all gotta swim and do what you gotta do, get on a ferry or something. We could just walk. We could just get on our bikes, our city bikes, and ride up.
I love the Bronx, and Edgar Allan Poe's last, living space was there, was at Poe
See?
Cottage, where his wife, Virginia Clem, passed away, who was also his cousin.
Look, this is why she got the Emmy. She got history in this little young brain of hers. Like I'm like, I thought I was.
I had no clue that was his cousin. No clue.
I can't say shit. My great grandparents were cousins. I can't say shit about Edgar Allan Poe.
Wow. Wow.
I say stuff. We already got enough fines from you.
Oh God! Oh, I forgot.
Now they're not gonna excuse. Like now she's just up there being Bronx. She's being Bronx. She's being mad.
Goodness, it comes out.
She's speaking truth, right? And
we're not trying to silence.
I think that's what
the
we
woman.
do too in the Bronx. I don't think we hold our tongues. We definitely open up front.
We've had to defend ourselves and to it hasn't been easy. Well, growing up in the 70s, to go back to your question, it was a lot of dilapidated buildings. Like I grew up, and it was very normal to me. I didn't think anything
it was
of
weird
it.
when I started seeing windows.
Yep. I sure played in a bunch of them. Risked my life a few times.
Soundview Park. That was a landfill. So we used to ride our bikes like Goonies through Soundview Park, where there was garbage mounds, and now they layered over it, and now it's a green space. But under there,
jumping on the mattresses, off the 5Ks, like it was a real
classic
climbing stuff.
Classic. It made us tough. It was like we didn't use seat belts when we was kids.
Okay, we said, you remember the taxis that used to have the little seat? There'd be like 5 of us.
Yeah,
like
my
we
father
sitting
used
on
to
the
drive
floor.
one.
Yeah, the pop-up seat.
My father drove one. It had the little seat in the back. He used to come by the block and bring us snacks. Me and my sisters.
We would sit on the floor. Everybody smoking cigarettes, like
in front of it was like nothing. We didn't think nothing of it. Ashtrays were everywhere. It was just part of the decor. It was a big ashtray.
And the restaurant smoking or non-smoking?
Right.
The planes.
Yeah.
The planes.
Hotel
I remember
room,
the planes had
smoking a
little
nozzle.
ashtrays.
That's the good old days, man. I so miss. I
Makes
so
you
miss.
tough.
Yeah, I'm so happy I came up in this era.
Me too.
So
I'm
happy.
so grateful to have been born at this time.
Yeah.
We've seen the first of a lot of things in from our time. The video games,
Uh-huh.
the cars, the
Internet,
floating things,
Internet.
internet, color TVs,
cell phones.
like different type of radios, CDs, MP3s.
VHS. It went from 8-track to cassettes.
We got a chance to see stuff that went away. Like stuff went away before these kids was even born. Like
Right.
CDs and
They don't even know what a Walkman is.
Yeah.
They don't even know what a Walkman is.
I still have mine. I make sure like
Oh yeah, you gotta
those
keep that.
things.
That's what's up.
But you know, back in the days, also even our theme parks were dangerous.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
not
With
that
the
it was
swing?
only the Action Park.
Coney
There was
Island.
like an ambulance at the bottom. Coney Island. They were
Yeah,
we
I
were tough.
went
There
to-
was no seatbelts or like fluffy little bars, like you know, with
Nothing.
cushion bars. It was
Everything
about-
was
what-
metal.
Metal and
Everything
wet.
was metal.
What about the monkey
But the
bars?
monkey
We
bars,
used to climb in.
the seesaws, the slides,
Concrete, everything.
Our parents was going to the
everything.
hospital every other
What?
day.
No, listen, and not all taking care of you right. Look, toughen up here you go.
If it
And
ain't,
go back
if
outside.
you don't need
Look,
stitches.
I got so many scars and I love it. Like I was such a tomboy and I'm so
Tomboy, I was a
thankful for it.
Saturdays after all the kung fu
cartoons
flicks,
and
there was the early
yeah.
morning was the
Right.
cartoons. Then it was
Then-
like a good double header of kung fu, and then after that in the afternoon we would go out with our broomsticks
Right,
and be like,
and then
"Pia,
be
pia,
out there,
boom,
right?
bra."
And that's a part of hip hop too.
Yep. We
That's a
used to
part of-
put the cardboard to do
Mhm.
backspins and all that stuff. Yeah, I love that we had that grit and we had that hands-on experience, because
Yeah.
that has been taken away. Everything now is simulated.
Yep.
Everything's a screen. I see little
Everything.
babies with a screen and it scares me.
It is. Even that's what I was saying yesterday. I started a new school and all they did was have their phones. They want to play their games and they was like this,
Yeah.
like this. So I had to say, okay, teach me about this game. What are the powers they use? How do you get this? And that's the only way that I
Yeah.
can interact. And then I had them create their own game. Like only way, because they would not get away. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yes,
And I'm
addiction.
like,
it's a total addiction.
what?
It's scary to think about, that like for something that's supposed to be something that connects us, it
It's
really
totally
isolates.
disconnecting
Yeah,
us.
even with ourselves.
Yeah,
Like
as
you know,
adults. Right.
my
You
thumb
be
was
like,
hurting for years. I
what?
was like, yo, I had to start getting acupuncture for
It's
my
true,
thumb
because
it
I
would
said the
lock.
same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, okay. But
Gotta
then
choose
and then
another finger
sometimes
to
for
scroll.
work, right. So using this one. But then even sometimes working on here, like you got so much to do. You got to edit, you got to post, you got to do this, you got to
Oof,
promote, you got to.
Honey. And I'm such a woodsy person. Like I really love nature. Like
Me too.
I could
yes.
really totally be all right
Me too.
in a little cabin with a little
I said,
river.
what did I say?
Mhm.
I
I
said
love
I
it.
got into the end of this year. I said now I'm going on the island and I'm gonna be under my mango tree.
Yes, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Así sea.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Rematriation. Motherland. That is so healing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about the motherland, being 47 years old, the first time I went to Puerto Rico, I was 45. And it was just on a trip. Yeah, exactly. So it was just on a quick trip. And I was like, there's something that I need to do. I said, I don't want to just do excursions. I don't want to be in this, the what you call the hotel, the big thing.
Yeah, the tourist.
I was
routes.
like, it was great.
Of course, because it's paradise. So you can't go
It is.
wrong.
But then I said, I'm going back.
Yeah.
And I went back and I went with my aunt, who's just not my blood aunt, but somebody who has helped me as a childhood, in my childhood. And she's, how old is Martha? 80 years old? Yeah, because my mother's 70 something. So she's 80. But she got a young spirit. And then I was the golden child and they were the golden girls. So her cousins, and so I'm learning off. I didn't go out and party. I stood there for a whole month. I didn't go out and party. I picked mangoes. I learned from the land. I learned about what it was to be Puerto Rican.
That is so beautiful. Surrounded by matriarchs. That is just beautiful.
I didn't have that. And I explained that. Even sitting there making pateles, right? Crying big time. I was like, and they was like, it was just that child thing because I felt like everybody in my family went. I didn't know. So even in the things that I say and I speak, I can't speak on that because I don't know it. So I had to go there and learn. And it wasn't even anybody from my blood still, But
both my grandfathers were not my blood.
I still went and I did the work, because I
Yes.
knew that it needed to get done.
Blood is mostly made of water. So, that's why, they say, but blood is mostly
Right.
made of water. So,
Right. So I connected to that.
yeah, you connect.
I connected to that. I learned, and I'm thankful. But even then, leaving there, the comment that is that you're still not a Puerto Rican because he wasn't born here. It didn't affect me, but it is in the sense that it affects because growing up, you just don't know who you are, right? You go to school, you see black, you see white, and you're like, so what about me? What about this person here? And you're not taught that in my household. Again, my mom was on drugs, it just wasn't taught. And sadly, the things that I did hear were like, ay, you're always messing with the morenos and Pieto. Those are some of the things that I heard, which kind of stood me away. Yeah, so it kind of led me not even to want to embrace it.
Yeah, because of that.
Mindset,
yeah,
right?
It's ingrained in our
That's what I knew. You know what I'm saying? The people in my building who helped me while my mother was on drugs was black. You know what I'm saying? Or both. Like, this is what I knew. This is what my community. This was my family. So I had a hard time dealing with that. But I've always been upfront, spoken, even in high school. Like I said, I asked, what about us? Then the next term, they made a Puerto Rican class. I know I had something to do with that, know? So Puerto
Rico, I think they're learning that just how much the diaspora is Puerto Rican, like no matter what. Like, I mean, and it's been said in poetry, hasta Juan Antonio Corregel, hasta si naciera en la luna, I would still be Puerto Rican. If I was born on the moon, I would still be Puerto Rican. That sentiment has been with us for a very long time. But now I think, they're embracing us because they need us.
Right.
Also.
Right.
Because of the displacement that is happening. Now they're recognizing, oh, wow. They have communities to go to because we're still Puerto Rican and we receive them.
Right.
We love them. Like I was quoted in El Diario, Nuevo Diario, or something like just recently about, like it feels like we're even maybe more Puerto Rican because we're fighting from afar for this sacred land to return home to one day. Like that is the Puerto Rican dream, at least for me, that's how I was raised.
Well, that's how I felt after being there. Absolutely.
That this is motherland. There is a different energy, and the displacement, the colonization continues. We're still a colony. So people want to talk about invest in Puerto Rico. Invest, go back. I was there in November. I took my staff for a retreat, the first time ever in the New Eureka Poets Cafe history. I created a retreat. I received them in Puerto Rico and took them. We went to Viejo San Juan. We went to El Yunque, but we went to a river and went to Taino petroglyphs and cried on a Taino rock. Like,
that's crazy,
we did all of that stuff.
Exactly what I wanted. Wow.
Yes, and it's our work to continue. It's our work to definitely continue to, crazy. I cried looking in Puerto Rico, in Rio Piedras, in Ponce, like all of these abandoned plazas that still have this, beautiful architecture, beautiful history. Se vende, todo se vende.
Right.
Everything for sale. For sale. We need.
And who is selling it? Not us.
And the pitch is not even in Spanish, like to buy it, like the pitch to purchase is mostly in English.
And I was hearing that, like, with the tax thing, like, that's why so many people are going there and doing this.
Sure.
But I'm hearing that you can't be of Puerto Rican descent. Is that true? That's something that I heard.
That I don't know. I don't know.
Which is absolutely insane. Huh?
Can we go to the song, come back to us?
Yes. We're going to go to
I don't know, pero Boricua. Alza la mano, pa'lante.
Which song we going into? Oh, spit.
Yo, G-Bo. Yeah. Let's let them know.
La Bruja. Let's go. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. It don't mean the same thing to me. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. Yeah. I define my dictionary. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. Ten cuidado. Cuidado como llamarme a mí. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. Con mi ESP, I see what I see. Spanish people in crisis, speak politely. I'm crazy. Spain probably isn't caring. Statehood probably isn't coming. Separated people inevitably crumble. Start participating in culture. Strong pro-independence community. Society prefers indifference collectively. Speaking powerfully involves commitment. Similar patterns in chimps. Slander purposely impairs confidence. Surviving people's insensitive comments. Socio-political insanity continues. Speaking purposely is constitutional. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. It don't mean the same thing to me. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. I define my dictionary. Yeah. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. Ten mucho cuidado. Como llamarme a mí. S-P-I-C, S-P-I-C. Que con mi ESP, I see what I see. Still placed in cadenas. Sees Puerto Ricans in chancletas. Spiritualists praying ignite candles. Some propaganda is comedy. Stop praising ignorant celebrities. Sharing perspectives is cleansing. Solidarity provides immense connection. Stepping past indignant critics. Selling poison in clinics. Staying poised inside conflict. Slavery practiced in Caribbean. Spaniards pummeled indigenous caciques. Seeing persecution is crushing. Shoot points impale cockroaches. Stop parades including Columbus. Soy perfecta inventando caridades. Seeking past inner conquistador. Speak properly in code. Some poetry is censored. Sexy, pero inteligente. Coño. Thank you very mucho. Muchas gracias. Buenos nachos. Good night. Appropriation is the taking of something derogatory for one's own use, typically without permission. It is also considered the technique of reworking the already existing image and or meaning through one's work. The true purpose is to change it and help uplift those that have been disempowered by it. Do not give it back its original power or empower those that originally used it to do the same. Face it and embrace it, because you can never erase it, but you can create something beautiful to replace it. This has been a PSA brought to you by La Bruja.
We're throwing it back. We're throwing it back. The new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Y'all heard it here on The Good Look with poetry, bars, and hooks and La Bruja. Well, that was a PSA. I hope y'all paid attention to what's going on up in here.
You can find that music on iTunes, Brujalicious, and for which it stands. Not all of my music is on, on social media, but there's things there. Definitely, that's there.
Google her. She's gonna pop right up. So they said there were questions in the chat. I don't see. I think because I signed back in after, I missed some things.
Well, is there anything you want to know?
Well, we talked about how poetry and how many people think you can't make a profession out of it. So how do you give someone the advice, and how can you make it a profession?
How can you make it a profession? Well, that's the work that, the New York Poets Cafe has been doing, or what we've been doing, because it gave me a platform to turn it into a profession. We do the open mics, we do the slams, we give people exposure from all backgrounds, all levels of poetry. It's just performing it, writing it, just keep writing, creating. You have an opportunity to collaborate, like from jump. You know how many things I've done for free? You know what I'm saying? I still do things for free if my heart is invested and I feel like there is karmic value, something that contributes to the overall, like the consciousness of society and the world and the elevation of the vibration. I will definitely do it without being paid. But it's a balance. It's a balance. You also have to advocate for yourself. You also have to, in order to survive, put a value on it. So it's a delicate balance. because like I said, if like for that Emmy thing, I wouldn't have won it had I not done that for free. If I had been off the bat, like, no, I
need to-
refuse. I must be. It's like, are you about this life? Like, if
That-
you're about this life, you're gonna do this no matter what. You know, like I just feel like if you're going into it with this agenda of fame and fortune, then you're not doing it for the right reason. Like, you know, you're gonna find disappointment. You probably won't succeed. But if you really do it for the love, it makes all of the difference and people feel it. So love it. Love what you're doing. Do it.
Exactly.
You know?
I totally agree. And I think that's the same thing in my career and how I started. I got fired from my job. I never looked back. So during that time, I was 2 years homeless, but I went everywhere for free. And then some things, you know, here, we're going to pay you. We're going to do this. For free. Getting my name out there, you know, but also putting in things that you can help other people and making a difference, right? Because that's what really mattered. And knowing that my poetry, it was a therapy. It was therapy to myself. But when I got on stage the first time and spoke that poem about me having an abortion and being in an abusive relationship, I noticed that it was therapy for somebody else.
Yes.
And that's what kept me going. So that's what got to keep going. Like she said, it's not about the money. It's not, but you have a goal. You have a goal to make this your profession. Then, of course, eventually the payouts are going to come and you're going to get what you're worth. But
strive for excellence. You know, strive for excellence in what you do. And then eventually you will be paid.
Right.
You know, you will.
Right.
He left his cocoa.
Oh, damn.
But anyway.
Always put a value on yourself, but know when opportunity knocks, right? Because not all doors is a good door.
That's true too. Not all good. Oh no, not all money is good money.
Good money.
You know, I've turned down things for sure. Absolutely. Where that was not in alignment with my being.
Right.
Like I was like, nah, I can't do it. You know, even like reggaeton, for instance, when reggaeton was popping and I was like really in the music industry, I had management and I was being pushed. They were like, you know, do reggaeton. And I was like, I'm not a reggaetonera. Like, but you're Puerto Rican. Like you speak Spanish, you could do it. And so I attempted and but it had a feminist spin. And they were like, no, not that kind of reggaeton. Like, you know, this kind of reggaeton. And, you know, I tried, I dabbled. No one could say that I didn't try different things, but always with a purpose. There was always something, you know, something deeper involved. Unless, you know, and even in the comedy, you know, like I've done comedy and I love telling jokes and there's healing in that too.
Absolutely.
There's, you know, there's so much that you can utilize art for. It's not just about fame and fortune.
Fame is not.
And I've helped many people too. I will say that. And not everybody has appreciated it. Of course. But I don't regret it.
Right.
You know, I don't regret it at all. It's just like love. Like, don't ever regret loving somebody, even though it doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. Yeah. It's like love is like the highest frequency you could create, you know, and creativity is in alignment with that too. You know, it's like a God force. It's something bigger. And, you know, focus on love and creativity. You'll make a great life.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You heard it here. So, can you spit something for us?
Sure. What would you like me to spit?
Anything that comes to your heart and your mind. Whatever energy is aligned.
Oh my God.
And you see how that rhymed?
You spit a little something. Give me a few bars to warm it up. Like, go ahead. So that I can see where you're at and maybe I'll find something.
Matter of fact, let me.
Well, okay. There's Every Oyster, right? So it's a song too. Every Oyster, you could find it. But my daughter always loved it, and on my knees, I feel pleased that I'm able to breathe, and the warmth I have for you, the coldest winter couldn't freeze. Mami, muchas gracias por darme esperanza. Aquí te traigo palabra y rosa blanca. Con cada paso yo trato de pensarlo, usando mi cabeza, entendiendo nuestra pobreza y creyendo que algo bueno me espera. Virgen de regla, recibe sus velas, caracoles y almeja. Casi nada tiene perla. Rezo para Dios y las 7 potencias. Gracias por enseñarme vergüenza y cómo respetar a nuestras abuelas. y aprender en la escuela cómo usar los días de joven que me queda, evitar lo malo que siempre enreda, te roba lo que tiene y te deja en la acera como un cualquiera tirando la primera piedra. You know, that's a verse from Every Oyster, but something more new is the first witch up to bat, the one that hit the boom bap, the one that's always made you clap with the magic from my hat, feathers in my cap, headdress, native empress, temptress. Don't touch if you're tempted. Corona means crown. I've always had that. Brujas exists now because I paved the pavement, carrying the name witch as an invitation for decolonization, a feminist statement to destroy the inclination of degradation. I'm a First Nation representative. You may be tentative, but I can help you manifest the life that you were meant to live. Get you expressive. Hosted open mics since before my adolescence. No question. Connected to the pulse of Mother Nature. Embrace her and your inner shame and shaman. Integrated darkness, illuminated chakras. My influence, a virus inspired an entire league of titans with sight beyond sight. Black, brown, red, yellow, white. Thundercats of the light. Underdog from the Bronx. You don't want to see me bite. You don't want to see me fight. Southpaw with the right. Lockjaw hit hard with all of my might. Ayo, KO, and out go the lights.
Oh, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. On a good look with poetry, bars, and hooks.
All of it.
So what I want to do, because actually, so when I had went to Puerto Rico, I had went to Hawaii for 2 months right after. As soon as I got off the plane, I got a message from you for me to perform at PayPal. You remember that?
Oh my God, yes.
Which was for Latinx.
That's right.
So,
see, I be calling my peeps.
Here's the poem for it. It's called Brown Bronx Girl. They said, tell us about your heritage, like culture, traditions, you know, your way of life. This was the type of poem that I have yet to even write. So I remember in high school, they would let us express ourselves, but I was being taught that blacks were slaves and whites were masters and presidents. So I raised my hand and asked my teacher, where were the people like me, the Puerto Rican? I knew that traditions included the smell of rice and beans and patelas cooking in the kitchen, salsa and oldies music, uncles dancing, and special coquito recipes made by the women. But there was something different. I felt closer to being black, but I knew something was definitely missing. I felt like I was the only cousin or sibling who never even went to Puerto Rico. I knew that there was something more to us than the smell of sauté sofrito. Like, how do we get our names and how come we don't have land of our own? How did some of our parents' give the children away to a world of unknown? Why did a Puerto Rican, because that's what I am, right? Leave a beautiful home to come to the American states, somewhere with no idea of the culture and a language they had to translate. Why did it become so unfamiliar to some of us born outside of the island? No history, no family connection, no knowledge to any of the tribe in them. I don't know, but those are some of the things that I was thinking. So at the age of 45, I went to PR on my own, sat down with some elders, and I had the time and the wisdom to listen. I learned more of myself and more of the reason behind my existence. It wasn't that I met any of my bloodline family, because no, I didn't. So growing up, I dealt with and held in a lot of emotions because I felt as if something in my life, something had been stolen. I learned that my strength comes from the ocean, how I'm calm, but the waves form a sexy force of motion, that the beauty in me comes from the breeze and the way it caresses the trees, how my light and energy comes from the sun, and that me, Kim, Ruiz, Rivera, Seabrook, this soul is the chosen one. And whatever last name I was given, that I had only one good intention, and that is to be fully living. I learned a lot in that month in Puerto Rico, the island of enchantment, which is the term they use because your heart feels the enhancement. So I know I didn't say it with the rolling R, and it sounds a little bit different coming out of my mouth. But I still rep that black side, that hospitality I inherited from them deep roots down south. There's still that Spaniard side that I have yet to make the connection. Taino, I can feel for sure, and I see it clear in my mirror's reflection. So that's a little bit about me, and they said that the topic was Latinx. This little brown Bronx girl is what I'm known to always represent.
Snap, snap, snap.
snap. So that's what I did at
Beautiful.
PayPal.
That's
And
great.
thank you for having me. That was
Of course. I'm sure they loved it.
Yeah, it was dope.
I'm so happy that you were able to do that in these spaces. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we representation matters, and we still have work to do. Keep representing, keep doing that work.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of work to do. Well, we are on it.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Anybody else in the chat?
Because erasure is real too. You know, we want to make sure to maintain culture and also, there's a lot of healing that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, what do you continue to keep? What do you change?
Right.
Because there is that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's super cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. Let us know where they can find you, your website. I'm trying to see if anybody had questions or comments. Nobody. All right. We're about to close it out.
New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I mean, I'm really interested in people visiting and the spaces that we're doing are like offsite location. But if you want to follow me, it's La Bruja NYC, LABRUJA NYC. And my website is my full name, CaridadDeLaLuz.com. I haven't even updated it since I became executive director of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe because I
shout out to that.
I dove into that job and was like, my career kind of took a back seat, or like my attention to the career, even though it didn't take a back seat, because I've been spinning many plates at the same time, and I'm very grateful for that. But just come join the community, follow us, and I'll see you on an open mic one day, hopefully.
That part. You heard it here on A Good Look with Poetry, Bars, and Hooks. iHeartRadio, Party 101.9, The Matrix Studio. Peace. That was dope. Thank you.